For NYUpInSyracuse.com, I am Matt Parrino coming to you from New Era Field, where your Buffalo Bills dropped to 9-4 on the season, a disappointing 24-17 loss to the Baltimore Ravens. And mostly it was disappointing because the defense really showed up today. The Baltimore Ravens averaging over 200 yards a game on the ground, only got to 118 today. It was really an all-out effort by this defense. John Harbaugh talked about it after the game. He said that he could tell that they were playing assignment football. Everybody was in their gaps. Everybody was flying around the football. Every time Lamar Jackson took off with the football, you saw red jerseys everywhere. He had nowhere to really go when he was running. I think he had a 16-yard run, a 10-yard run, and then everything else was 10 yards or less. A really complete effort from this defense. Now, Lamar Jackson, the passer, he had 3 touchdown passes in this game. He executed the plays he needed to make to put his team over the top, and that's just something that the offense couldn't do. Josh Allen, this receiving core, Devin Singletary, who we'll talk about in a bit, had a good game. As a whole, couldn't make enough plays down the stretch. You thought in the fourth quarter, the Bills got it going in the fourth. Cole Beasley with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. You thought, okay, here we go. Fourth quarter, Josh Allen was going to get it going. But they just couldn't get enough plays down the stretch to do that. Josh Allen's completion percentage today was his worst of the season, 43%, coming on the heels 10 days ago against the Dallas Cowboys, where he threw for a career-high 79% completion percentage. And he talked about it after the game. It was an issue of getting into a rhythm, getting some completions early on that he just wasn't able to get himself going. And that really kind of went along as series after series went along, and the Bills couldn't really generate any offense. On a bright note, real quick, Stephen Hauschka, everybody was worried about him after some disappointing kicks against the Dallas Cowboys. 3 for 3 today. He answers a lot of questions with the Bills, who went out on the waiver wire and put in a claim on Chase McLaughlin, who they had back in training camp. The Indianapolis Colts signed Chase McLaughlin because they had priority, which is a good news for Stephen Hauschka and the Bills, because Hauschka looks to be back on track. We'll continue to monitor that. But as an offense, one of the big problems too, not only was Josh Allen, kind of inaccurate early on and just couldn't really consistently move the football team, there were drops. Dawson Knox, Devin Singletary, Cole Beasley. When you have your receivers, your playmakers, not able to make a play for you. Cole Beasley said after the game, he had a nice ball down the left sideline that Josh Allen, he said it was a dime. He put it right on his hands and he dropped it. When you're having those kind of momentum killers as an offense scratching and clawing to find some momentum, you're just not going to make enough plays against the Baltimore Ravens, who by all accounts are the best team in the NFL. You saw the New England Patriots lose today to the Kansas City Chiefs. So we have a situation here where the Bills were battling back and forth with the AFC's elite, a Super Bowl contending team. So I think that there's some good things to take out of this game, in the sense that Josh Allen didn't throw an interception against a very good defense that was confusing him. So that's first and foremost. Devin Singletary was absolutely electric. He sparked this offense in the second quarter. Finished with 89 rushing yards, again, over 5 yards a carry, and continues to make Brandon Beane, Sean McDermott, this front office look very, very smart for not only drafting him, but having the foresight to move on from LaShawn McCoy, who averaged a career worst 3.2 yards a carry last season. But additionally, when you look at where things kind of hit a snag today, the offensive line struggled against some really elite pass rushers. Matthew Judon, edge rusher, linebacker extraordinaire by the Baltimore Ravens, he was flying around the edge, and on both sides of the line, they were struggling. 6 sacks for the Baltimore Ravens, 12 quarterback hurries. Josh Allen got beat up today, and because of that consistent pressure, he wasn't able to scramble. Only 2 rushes for the day, under 10 yards. That's just not how Josh Allen is going to beat teams. But on the defensive side, I want to finish on a bright note. Everywhere you looked, they were getting the job done. Lorenzo Alexander with 7 sacks, a pass breakup, a tackle for a loss, a pass deflection on a third down that forced a punt. Lorenzo Alexander, at 36 years old, continues to excel. Unbelievable performance by him today. John Harbaugh talked about how good this defensive secondary is. Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer used a ton in the box to kind of maintain and contain Lamar Jackson in this running game. They did a really good job. And Tremaine Edmonds, Matt Milano, they were tasked this week to being gap sound, making sure that you track Lamar Jackson and this running game, and for the most part, you look at the statistics, they did a pretty good job. It's something that at 9-4, I think it's easy to get discouraged, and you watch the Patriots lose and think, oh hey, the Bills could have been really in the thick of things in the AFC East, but they're still building. There's still hope. There's a road game against the Pittsburgh Steelers next week on national TV that I think Bills fans should get excited about, because that's another big-time game against a team of the Steelers that's playing some really good football, and another test. You go on the road with this defense. You take your chances against Duck Hodges. What a name. It's going to be fun. This will be the second night game that I've covered. So with this team, what they did on Thanksgiving, it's 10 days ago. And obviously some disappointment inside here at New Era Field today. But again, a lot to be happy about, a lot to look forward to as the Bills continue to march towards the playoffs. One more win and they're in. Even if they don't win another game, they're probably going to be in. So all good things here for what's going on with the Buffalo Bills, despite a 24-17 loss today to the Baltimore Ravens. And for all your Bills content, as always, keep it locked on to nyupsyracuse.com. We'll see you next week.